Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining me. My name is Xan. I am the founder of Daemon Technologies, joining you from Hong Kong. It's a little bit late for me tonight, but I'm pretty excited because it's still feeling a little surreal that Stacks 2.0 is actually launching. So thank you for joining me. Today, I'm going to give an overview of what we do at Daemon Technologies and the software we've been building to make stacks mining a lot easier for anyone who's interested in participating. So with that, apologies for the toolbar showing up. I know you all are not happy about that. Let me start by kind of giving an overview of what Daemon Technologies is and kind of where we came from. So Daemon Technologies is an independent company headquartered in Hong Kong. Our mission is to drive the adoption of stacks technology in Asia. Daemon was founded by two former Blockstack PBC core team members, myself and Gavin Gao. You can read a little bit about us there, but I joined the Blockstack core team back in 2017 and spent the first couple of years focused on growing the independent ecosystem of applications built on top of the Stacks 1.0 architecture. Pretty proud of where we got that as a team. We took that from essentially 0 independent applications built on top of to over 400 by the end of 2019. About a year and a half ago, I started traveling out to Asia quite a bit. And starting to spread Blockstack technology out here. As many of you probably know, Asia is some of the most important markets for blockchain technology and the innovation going on. And it was around the same time that I started to work with Gavin, who was the first technical lead and developer evangelist for Blockstack PBC in China. Him and I continued to work together. And then last year, I moved to Hong Kong full time and founded Daemon Technologies along with Gavin in July. Again, our goal is really to drive the adoption of stacks technology in Asia as a company that is actually based out here and has our team on the ground. The way that we have kind of taken that mission and our focus since incorporating for about the last 6 months has been on stacks mining. And really lowering the barrier of entry for miners. When I first joined Blockstack PBC back in 2017, one of the main reasons that I really liked what I was seeing and the technology and what Munib described at the time was how easy they made it to develop applications in this space, which was quite a stark contrast, especially to what we were seeing in the Ethereum ecosystem and others. And we're looking to do the same thing around Stacks consensus as well. And so what we've worked on for the last 6 months in that vein is what we call the mining bot. Again, the goal of the mining bot is to drastically lower the barrier of entry for Stacks miners. PBC and the core team offer some great initial infrastructure for mining, but it is all command line based. And as someone who is not an engineer by background, I had a very big goal to get mining to the point where I felt I could be a sophisticated miner on the network without having to use the command line. We still have a little bit of a ways to go along that journey to fully accomplish that goal. But for now, we're pretty proud of where we've gotten. The mining bot, we just released the beta 2.0 version for Mainnet. It provides a graphical interface with live data flows that gives miners the kind of information they need to execute and be more competitive in the mining market. You can see kind of a screenshot of part of it to the right there, but I'm going to be giving you a demo in about 30 seconds of it. The current version, as I mentioned, is in beta. So again, use verify, instead of trust. When you go to use it, we still highly recommend that you test it on testnet before bringing it to mainnet and actually putting real funds through it. But it is open source, and currently it is a local host application. So we are pretty close to removing the command line fully from this, but you do still have to go through an installation process with the command line. And with that, let's get to the demo. So first and foremost, when you go to install the mining bot, we have our documentation site up on GitHub here. This documentation leads you very easily through the installation and build of the mining bot. Again, I'm not an engineer by background. I certainly have no capability to kind of code on my own in the command line. The extent of my expertise is copying and pasting commands into the CLI, and I can pretty easily install the mining bot using this. So it is quite good. So I will caveat this with saying I've gone through already the installation process via command line just to kind of save us the time. But it is pretty simple, and we go through it right here. So once I've installed through the command line, what I will do is I'll just open up a new tab and go to localhost 8000, and I'll be presented with an authentication screen for the mining bot. The first time you do this, you will be asked to establish a password. I have already established a password here, and you can think of this like MetaMask. The reason there is a password is so that if you are running, even though it's a localhost app, if you are running the mining bot on a VPS or a remote server, this makes it so that your private key is encrypted using that password. Otherwise, big problems if your private key is exposed that way. Once you establish that password or re-authenticate into the app, it will lead you to this public data module. This I really think of as the brain in terms of the strategy when it comes to stacks mining. This is pulling in all sorts of external data. We have secondary market data coming in, both stacks price, Bitcoin price, and the relation between the two. We also have specific information about what other miners around you are doing, how many blocks they've won, how many blocks they've competed for, how much they've burned across all of those blocks. And you can also look up your address and kind of see your statistics here. We also have that info by stacks chain height and for specific blocks where you can actually go in and see the details of those. One thing I will note is, again, this mining bot, the beta 2.0 release, works on the Krypton testnet, the Xenon testnet, and Mainnet, and is kind of easily configurable between all three. You'll notice in the top right, we are running the current demo of this on Xenon, as Mainnet hasn't quite launched yet. But it works easily on all three and is kind of configured to do so. One of the first things that you're going to want to do once installing the app and maybe taking a quick look at this data module is you're going to want to come into the wallet module. This is going to allow you to add a Bitcoin and Stacks wallet. I've already added a Bitcoin wallet in here, but actually for the purposes of the demo, I will delete this. I'll go to add. It's going to ask me to put in a mnemonic here. I already kind of have a testnet Bitcoin wallet I've been using. So I'm just going to put my mnemonic in here for that. I'm going to select Bitcoin. I'm going to hit submit. That's going to load my TBTC wallet, or in the case of Mainnet, my real wallet, and it's going to show the balance there. So I already have some TBTC in this. We make it pretty easy for the Xenon testnet. If you don't, you can kind of go right to the Xenon faucet, get some TBTC, and be on your way. Once I've added my wallets, for the purpose of this, I really just need to add a Bitcoin wallet so that I can start mining. I'm now going to go to the third module, which is the mining client. From here, this is going to allow me to do some pretty cool things. So I've already pre-downloaded the Stacks node just to save us some time. When you log into this for the first time, you go to get node status. The current status is going to be, there's no node installed, there's no node running. There will be a one-click download option right here to download and install the Stacks node. You don't need to leave the bot or do anything else to do that, which is really nice. Once that is downloaded and is running locally, this is what you will see. Stacks node is downloaded but not running. Please start mining. Before I do this, I just want to take a quick check of my system configuration, which is the fourth module. This is really important for Xenon and Mainnet because for both, as a miner, I'm going to need to be running not only a Stacks node, but a Bitcoin D node. This allows me to configure and load a local Bitcoin D node, or I can also use a remote one. I can also from here reset that lock password that you all saw. So I've kind of pre-entered this with Daemon's Bitcoin D node information. And so I'm going to go back to the mining client and I'm just going to hit start mining. Once I do that, I'm going to be prompted to select the Bitcoin wallet that I use to commit my burn fee for mining. I'm then going to be prompted to set the burn fee. Now, Hero Systems PBC and the core engineering team has a recommendation to commit at least 11,000 Satoshis per block to mine. This is so that your transaction doesn't get processed as dust by the Bitcoin network, but actually gets processed as a real transaction and makes it to the Stacks network. For now, we're just going to keep it on the default we have set for the bot, which is 20,000 Satoshis. We're going to hit next. It's going to ask me to confirm my local Bitcoin node info. This all looks great. I'm going to finish. And then lastly, I am just going to enter that password one more time. Authentication code is correct, and the bot is now going to launch the node and then start mining. And so I have now started mining on the network. We could hang out here for about 10 minutes, and you would start seeing some of my mining activity. It wouldn't necessarily win a block right away, but you could query that using my Bitcoin address, which I've kind of put right here, which obviously we just started mining, so there's no data. But you can use that to kind of easily take a look at your performance compared to those around you. So that is the mining bot. Thank you for bearing with me during the demo. And to finish things up, I'd like to talk a little bit about what's next for the mining bot. Again, I'm myself and Gavin, and we have one or two contractors that work with us as well. We're really proud of where we've gotten the mining bot so far, but in no way, shape, or form does this really meet my full goals for this. Again, I think some of the biggest things that we want to create to really improve the bot in the near future, probably the biggest one is dynamic dispatch for miner commits. What this means is right now, if I want to change the burn fee per block, so let's say I want to change the 20,000 Satoshis to 15 or to 35,000 per block. Currently, I have to stop the miner and restart it and set a new burn fee. Something that is really important for miners to not just be more competitive, but for the mining bot to enable miners to have algorithmic strategies that can adapt live to changes that they're seeing in the Stacks mining market. We need the ability to dynamically change that burn commit block to block. That is probably the number one thing we're focused on working on at the moment. A very close second is the version of the mining bot as a desktop application. This will really allow it to kind of get my hit my main goal of it being an application with no interaction with the command line. We also want to augment the data and mining modules, pull more secondary data in there from more exchanges, pull more data in from not just the Stacks chain, but also the Bitcoin chain. We also want to make it easy to search and connect to public nodes, both Stacks nodes and Bitcoin nodes, for instance, from third-party service providers like Daemon. And then lastly, and I think we may need some help with this from the community, but to be able to have the mining bot easily configurable for folks to use it to run mining pools, where you have a multi-sig setup with the Bitcoin wallet and multiple people mining using that kind of shared capital. I will say, if you have any ideas for other things you'd love to see us add to the mining bot, we're all ears. And would love to see you kind of contact us on some of those outlets there. Please do kind of check us out on the website. We are SDX Daemon on Twitter. or you can reach out to us at mining@demontechnologies.co. With that, want to say kind of a hearty thank you. Again, it's after all these years, it's kind of surreal to me that Stacks 2.0 is actually launching, but we're incredibly excited, myself and the rest of the team at Daemon. And this focus on mining is kind of just the start of what we're going to be building. So look forward to kind of moving forward with that and involving a lot of the community listening today in that process. So with that, we'd just like to say thank you, and looking forward to seeing Larry present next.